Howdy, people. Feisty chess time. We've been paired as black. I think my results are better as black lately. In any case, I'm kind of on a losing streak. Alright. Been toying with the Alekhine Defense. I've never really played this. Let's do it. I've been learning about it a little bit on Chessable. And my opponent is going for some of the main lines. I've learned the line with d6 here. Okay, the 4 pawns attack. You know, I haven't gotten to that yet. So what to do? I'm on my own. I've gotten to the classical and the exchange variations. So probably I'm thinking either g6, the plan of bishop g7 and castling, or just taking immediately and opening up some initiative against. Yeah, let's take, and then knight to c6 will come with some threat here. And if he goes knight f3, I can pin with bishop g4. Okay. Got my queen side mostly out. Probably e6 here. By the way, this is a 10-5 game. I'm going a little shorter. Seeing if that improves my results. I think I need to work on time management, and a better way to do that is to play shorter games to begin with. So, without wasting any more time, e6 looks good. Prepares to get the bishop out. Yeah, here we go. I suppose I could have taken on f3 right there, and he would have either had to take with his pawn or the queen. If it takes with the queen, well, no, it doesn't quite work. He could take with his queen, and then I can't really go here because I'm going to lose that pawn anyway. No, it does work out for me. He'd have to take here first. Okay, he's broken the pin. I could take and then throw in this queen check. Leaves his king side a little more open, but he's got a big center and giving him the 2 bishops too. Not a fan. Okay, queen d7 looks pretty sensible. We'll castle queenside. That'll be a feisty thing to do. Wait a minute. I've got the c4 pawn. Okay, a lot of the Alekhine lines. If you can deflect this bishop from that diagonal, then good on you, because you can win the c4 pawn. So if he takes with the pawn, he'll leave his king side quite open. He won't have a very safe place to castle. If he takes with the bishop, he'll lose this pawn. So I'm willing to give up my bishops for this. I also have bishop b4 ideas that will win, could win this pawn here. He'd have to drop back with bishop d2. But then I would have queen takes d4. Yeah, okay, that might still work. I'll look at that. If he takes with the bishop, yeah, we'll have to see. Bishop b4 might be better than knight takes c4. If he takes with the pawn, probably bishop b4. Okay, takes with the pawn. Let's throw this check in and see how white responds. Oh, of course, that's an obvious response. All right. Is f6 worth anything here? That might be a little more active. Actually, I have a check, but he's got bishop f2. Let's keep our structure compact. Is he threatening d5? Say I go queen d2, d5, e takes, c takes. His knight is pinned, so he's not threatening that just yet. Okay, queen d7. Let's get castled on the queen side. Probably white will do the same. I've almost got a pin of this e-pawn, but not really, because the bishop and the rook guard everything together. But if we just slide over, then we will have a pin and we'll make a threat. Bishop g5 is not a thing because I just go f6. Okay, maybe e7 was the place for the queen to begin with. All right, the threat was not seen. Okay, can I go knight takes and not worry about my knight for the time being? I have two knights hanging. Once he moves the queen is the problem. I think he's found a very good move. Because once he takes here, he'll also be threatening take on a7. Oh, maybe that's not such a threat. I'm worried about this bishop getting trapped, that's for sure. Wait a minute. Oh, that pin is there, I can simply take. Yeah, I can just take this pawn with my bishop. Okay. Still, there's some difficulties with bishops getting trapped, but actually, I'm threatening to take again on d4. So he doesn't have time to play. Try to play, say, a3 and take. He does have time for that, but now I got bishop b4 again, don't I? Hold on. He's not defending this enough times, is he? Bishop takes, knight takes. Yeah, his game is breaking down. Okay, Alekhine's Defense for the win. Overextended center. It's striking how I realized that this pawn was pinned when it comes to capturing here, but not comes to capturing here. It took me forever to say bishop to c. Bishop takes c5. All right, let's hit this with tempo on the queen, and we'll win the other bishop at least. Actually, where does he go to protect? Okay. Let's just slide on over. A little left and keeping the knight out of... Actually, do I need to worry that that knight's coming there? Yeah, let's just do this. Don't need to worry about it, but I can afford to now. I think I can win this pawn here with the fork on those two squares. And where's the queen go where she still protects the e-pawn? I don't see it. Okay, just picking up a third pawn. Seems like a greedy thing to do at this point, but I've still got initiative because I'm hitting another pawn. Also, my knight will be very happy on c6. Me feeling like he's coming home. Let's just do that. And we can double with tempo. Or just win that other pawn, but doubling seems better at this point. I want to make sure my pieces are all playing. I've got enough pawns to win. Yeah, let's just keep everything protected. Keep our pieces coordinated. Yoshe left the game. Okay, well, maybe it's a technical glitch. Maybe we can start our analysis early. So Alekhine's Defense. It's the most ferocious system against it, the 4 pawns attack. Oh, we have a move on board. Do I want to get a rook to the 7th? Got lots of ways to do very well here, actually. Let's just do a rook on the 7th. Other rook can come to the 6th and harass the queen. I could also just maybe force off a queen trade with queen b4 soon. I did not see this variation, so I better take the knight. Maybe 2 rooks on the 7th. Okay. The old leaving the game tactic maybe got to me a little bit there. I looked away, and then right afterwards I made a bit of an error. An oversight, anyway. Yeah, the 2 rooks on the 7th. That's it's got to be better than what he's got going on here. If rook takes c7, I'll just capture once, and then can probably go for, after he takes, rather than recapture, I can probably go for this immediately. And then if he takes with the queen, I take with check. He captures, I captures, and I capture. We got a easily winning king and pawn ending. So fortunately, me taking the knight was not me going out of the way. All right. In this case, there's no sense in not grabbing extra pawns here. Unless there's some kind of fork that's threatened. No, my king is very safe. Maybe I hate queen endings, but maybe I should just go for it. Yeah, let's just trade off material. This seems to make lots of threats and do lots of good things. So it defends this, hits this and that, and also, most importantly, threatens that, which would force a king and pawn ending. So he guards against that. And he guards against all 3. Now, what to do? Let's threaten a couple other checks. I've given him a check. Up 3 pawns here. All right, let's not botch this up. All right. Be lots of checks, I have a feeling. Okay, if he stays on the F file, I've got this, which trades into a pawn ending. Okay. Yoshie should have maybe spent some more time on that move. And we're doing it. And we're just running. Don't need to defend those pawns. I would have no reason not to defend them, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4 until I queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until he queens. Okay. All right. Alekhine's defense is 1-0. 1-0 here. 4 pawns attack. Exchange. And white has this big center, but has nothing developed. And some open lines to the king. Black has a little bit of initiative. Let's put the analysis board on. Let's see if knight f3 is the main move, actually. I want to actually see right here, actually back a move. Look at the opening book, learn a thing or two about the 4 pawns attack. Okay, d takes e5 is the main move. Bishop f5 is another idea. Wonder if that has a name. Trifunovic variation. This is the main line, though. Knight c6. Okay. Managed to deduce some of the key ideas here. Knight f3. Okay, bishop e3 is usually played. That's what I was thinking, because knight f3, and I get to get my bishop out and keep creating threats. So bishop e3. Let's see how that line goes. Bishop f5. Right, knight c3. e6. Bishop e7. d5, the main move. Okay. So let's see how well I capitalized on this knight f3, this opening mistake by black, which spoils white's advantage. c5. c5 is the computer move, but no one ever plays that because it leaves a giant hole in d5. Bishop e3 and e6. Huh. e6, and the bishop can't take because of the fork. So f takes e6. That's an ugly kind of line. It's a unique position, but black seems a little better according to the computer. Bishop e3, e6. Okay, we're still following lots of master games here. Bishop e2 is played. Knight c3 is the other alternative, but black does very well in those games. Bishop e2, and I just go for this anyway. That kind of makes his bishop e2 look kind of silly because he doesn't want to take it or he'll lose his c-pawn. But the line I was looking at that looked okay for white is, yeah, I lose my c-pawn, but now this extra pawn isn't worth much because it's doubled, isolated, and on an open file. I guess you'll have to, queen c8 makes sense here. And if knight takes, this is really strange line actually. Maybe that just loses a piece for white. Yeah. If knight takes. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather be black here. This d pawn is just as much of a weakness as this pawn here. So maybe g takes was the right move. This is computer. The computer likes g takes better. Oh, and it says I should go for queen h4 to get to f4. That would be a powerful post for my queen. But queen d2 could just offer a trade immediately. Okay. It doesn't like my bishop check. When you can develop with check, it's tempting not to. It's very tempting to do so. Okay, now it likes white. So queen h4 is apparently the way to go. Getting this queen onto f4. But now I'm looking at this. Bishop b4. Oh, of course. Knight c3. Queen takes d2. White's king is in the middle. And black has some initiative, although he doesn't have the two bishops, threatening this pawn here. a3. I suppose that makes sense. Bishop c5. And white has no way to defend all of that. Bishop takes. Okay. Black has won a pawn. White has the two bishops. But apparently there's nothing better than just giving back the two bishops. Okay, yeah, this... Oh, c5 is even better because we're hitting this now. Okay, I was looking at a lot of analysis. But again, I want to have some sense of how to play this opening. You got to be willing to give up the two bishops to play Alekhine's Defense, but I think black often gets a lot of initiative chipping away at that big fat center. And big fat centers are nice, but if the opponent is well developed and coordinated, it's a tasty snack to chew away on, the big fat center. Okay. Is there any other lines here? What about just bishop out? No, it likes white. Queen d7. Okay, that's better. The plan just to be into castle queenside and delay the development of this bishop to see what white plays. Does not like the bishop check. Now it still likes queen h4 check. Doesn't like the queen d7 plan now. Interesting why that is. That's a mystery. probably because this bishop can get crowded out, and white can win the two bishops here without losing a pawn, perhaps. It likes queen d3. Says white has a pretty healthy advantage, but I think right here, c5, that's the big mistake that white made. And I almost didn't see this. It was funny. I saw this. That would work because the pawn would pin, but I never even considered bishop takes here. So bishop takes. Ooh, this makes things worse for black. Queen e4 is better. Bishop takes d4. Knight takes. A6 here? Why not just clear off more pieces? Yeah, and from here, I did have a little bit of a slip up, but I'm up 3 pawns now. Maybe I should have jumped into d3 here. But sitting back on c6 is nice as well. Maybe rook b4 is a little more aggressive here, or queen b4 would be great too. Just rook takes f4 for the computer. This is fine. Rook to d6. Yeah, just coming back and defending that knight. This is still fine. And this isn't a waste of time going after this knight, because now I can double up on the 7th rank. And here's the line I looked at, that I was quite happy with. And now, instead of recapturing, I have a couple in-between moves I can make that simplify things greatly, so we don't have to deal with queens on the board. And then we're back to this winning endgame. So rook takes c7 is not a threat. Yeah, I wondered about this, just getting super greedy for these pawns. But then rook takes d2, and I didn't want to have to deal with like an unprotected rook. I guess if he goes queen c3, my rook has lots of places it could go, huh? Or I could double up like this. Okay. And I'm threatening to trade the queens off. Queen takes g7, I make that move anyway. King a1, and now I gotta bring my queen back. If I come up here, then it's just gonna perpetual check. Now the queen comes back. We got a rook ending, which is a little less of a pain to win with these extra pawns. H5, really? Oh, because he's not really threatening to take that yet. King b1, and then I slide my rook over. Rook to d5. All right, I guess the plan is try to win this pawn. I don't know. There's lots of winning plans here. Okay. We went for this. Queen d6. That makes sense as well. It's a little more centralized than queen a5. Sorry, h4. Queen d2. Now b6. Yeah, just to produce this this formation of pawns here is useful for preventing queen checks. Your king can often come here, and if checked, can then slide over here, and it allows you to make progress and prevent a lot of perpetual checks. Yeah, this is still a pain though. Queen endings, even when you're up a couple of pawns, you have to watch out for perpetuals all the time. There's just lots of tactics to be had on the board with just a pair of queens. And I was actually expecting this check to centralize the queen. But now, maybe something like this. Okay. He went for the pawn. It's difficult to not want to go for the pawn because the pawn also allows him a perpetual check here. Well, is that a perpetual? Maybe I shouldn't have been scared of that and should have just taken on a2. Let's see what happens. I still have an advantage. Queen c5, king b8, and then he has to come check on f8 maybe? He's going to grab one of those pawns back and actually take his pick. King c7. Okay, he's just got a perpetual unless I give up pawns with check. That's the problem. And I kind of smelled that, but I didn't see it all that well. Queen takes f7, king d6, queen takes g7. But now I can get this, and I have a single passer. He can keep threatening other pawns. Yeah, queen endings. Not my cup of tea. Not the kind of ending I want to play for a win when I have a big advantage. Just too many things that can go wrong for you. Okay, so here, he has to move off the f-file because of this check right here. So obviously can't go there. So his choices are here, or here, or there. Computer says king d2. I've got queen d4. Now he can step on the f-file. Queen g1 is interesting. How about I could try checking from over here? King c3. Really? King c3, and now I take off the queens. So, yeah. I mean, there's lots to this. But I trust the computer in this kind of position that I've just got a big advantage. There's no perpetuals because I've got the initiative checking, and that's often worth a pawn or two anyway. But found that, and now easy win. Okay, thanks for the game, Yoshe. I'm glad you didn't drop off. I'm glad you finished it with me. And thanks for watching, folks. Stay feisty.